We are Team Handshake, and we are here to present our Capstone Project on affordable housing in Seattle. I'd like to first introduce our team. This is Yingri Guan, Tim Wong, and I'm Andre Salyer. Our target user is part of an income bracket called Very Low Income, or VLI. These households make between 30 and 50% of area median income, or $25,000 to $45,000 annually. This segment of society is underserved. They are not quite disadvantaged enough to be guaranteed social services and not quite affluent enough to take advantage of the benefits offered to the middle class, such as subsidies for home ownership. Our group is drawn to problems faced by growing cities, such as Seattle. One of the biggest challenges being the lack of affordable housing for low-income residents. We had the opportunity to work with this underserved group. We learned from their struggles and were inspired by their go-getter attitude. There was one resident in particular whose experiences resonated with us. Let's call her Danielle. And this is what she had to say about her experience.
Why, unless I talk with them first and know for sure. Because I don't want to waste money on the application fee and they say no. I just don't like spending the $35 for the application fee, the $35 for the background check, and then put down a holding fee, which you might not get your holding fee back.
As you heard from Danielle, there's a general lack of transparency in the application process. There's no way to check how your application money is being used, and if your application isn't selected, you often don't find out why. Additionally, application fees add up, especially if you have a family. Many landlords are now charging background check fees for children as well as adults. Danielle has a family of 8, so if the landlord is charging $12 per child and she's applying to 46 apartments, that quickly becomes unaffordable. This led us to ask a question. How can we reduce application fees and increase the chances of a successful application, which we're going to get to in a second. So what you see here, this is a diagram of a typical application cycle. The applicant applies, spends money, and they wait. Often they don't hear back or find out why the application was not selected. Here we see the addition of a case manager who's stepping in as an advocate and educator. The first thing a case manager will do is show them their background check so that they can see what landlords are seeing and provide insight into the application process. She also helps by driving them to appointments and calling properties on their behalf. Our goal is to build a tool that gives the applicant more confidence in their ability to market themselves to landlords directly on their own. And it's crucial that this solution requires no extra work on the landlord's end. In fact, it's our goal to reduce the amount of time and work required by landlords to review low-income applications, making it as easy as possible to say yes. This brought us to a second question. How do we make the low-income residents more self-sufficient? Is there a way that we can automate the process of applying for low-income housing, augmented by the lessons we learned from case managers? Well, we can't drive them to appointments, but there are many areas of the application process that are ripe for a design intervention, such as a background check, filling out a universal application, and even acting as a liaison on behalf of the applicant to present them in the best possible light, which you will see in the video that we're about to play.
Over 45,000 Seattle households spend more than half their income on housing. It takes 2 people working full-time at $15 an hour to afford the average one-bedroom apartment.
These families are struggling, and a lot of families are struggling with both maintaining a living wage, finding and accessing and keeping housing that they feel is both appropriate for their family and in a safe place.
Existing tools don't work for this group because they cannot afford to pay multiple application fees, and their history may contain past mistakes that lead to getting rejected over and over. We are introducing Handshake to address these issues and give this particular group an advantage in a competitive housing market. Let me explain to you how it works. Handshake is an end-to-end solution to secure appropriate housing for low-income tenants. Handshake starts by providing the tenant with a background check up front, so they can address any issues with their record. Resources are provided to help them get in touch with the correct nonprofit to resolve these issues. Next, they are prompted to fill out a universal housing application, which they are guided through step by step. The next goal is to present them in the best possible light to landlords. We do this by helping them to build a profile page, which will be the first thing that a landlord sees when reviewing their application. This is made easy by extracting information from their application to generate a short bio. This can be edited for a more personal touch, including photos of the family, positive quotes from references, and relevant information such as their preferred move-in date. It also benefits landlords by giving them all the information they need up front to make their decision, as well as eliminating the need to create a custom application. Handshake. From hope to home.
For the user interactions, we have designed to be 3 stages. The first one is searching for housing. Second, apply for housing. Last is build a profile. As we have discovered during our user research, the current problem with the search for low-income housing is that low-income residents do not have a comprehensive search engine, and they do not provide availability of the properties they are looking for. Therefore, the first part of our search is designing for comprehensive search engine. It pulls information from different websites, and availability as well as eligibility are indicated here. Once the low-income residents are ready to apply, they can now start the application process. However, with the current application process, landlords use different applications, and it's time-consuming and highly inefficient for low-income residents who might still try to hold 2 jobs at the same time to apply for those places. Therefore, the application process design, we're proposing a universal application system. It allows the low-income residents to only fill the information once and reuse if needed. They're also guided step by step, and any difficult terms are explained. They don't have to spend time to develop. Also, it's beneficial for the landlords as they don't have to develop time to for their own applications. Lastly, the most essential part of our interaction design is the profile page. For the currently, a lot of the low-income residents are not fully aware of the importance of meeting with landlords in person to secure a housing. So as you can see from the interfaces here, we're allowing the low-income residents to introduce themselves beforehand to the landlords. All the information are extracted from the application process. They only have to review or add it if desired. Customization is allowed if they want to add a profile image or indicate preferences. Transparency is also important as we're informing them of the questions they will be asked for their references.
So here is the profile page that we were able to test with end users and landlords, and we received positive feedback about this. For the end users, they felt that it would increase their confidence when applying, because primarily because of the professional presentation and how they were portrayed to the landlords. From the landlord sides, they appreciated being able to see key information about the applicant up front, servicing desired move-in dates, credit scores, references, and a short bio about the applicant and even their family. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed learning about Handshake. We believe that housing is a human right, and housing affordability is taking one building block towards a more equitable city. And so we believe that Handshake is designed to make strides towards such a future, helping each applicant turn hope into home. Before we conclude, we'd like to just quickly thank our instructors, our sponsor, Olin from 10,000 Feet, and quick shout out to our actress, our subject matter experts, our landlords and property managers, all the ones that we talked to, and last but not least, the end users that were pretty much at the core of this project. Without all of you, this project wouldn't have been quite as successful. So thank you again, and thank you for your attention.